In the previous 200 years or somewhere in the vicinity, we've all cooperated and figured out how to think of much more creative approaches to end life on Earth as we probably am aware it. The development of black powder itself was a phenomenal advancement in mass butcher. The demise checks of certain wars removed whole pieces of our populace. However, the creations of the coming hundreds of years would make that look tame in correlation.
One danger, however, has stayed unaltered for as far back as we can recall. We, despite everything, don't pay attention to it as well. The coronavirus story is breaking as we compose this, with cases detailed in nations around the globe. It has totally separated administrations in China and close-by nations, getting one of the most mechanically created nations, and the remainder of the world, by surprise. The reason this ongoing breakout has stunned everybody is that we've overlooked that the greatest danger to human life isn't nukes or whatever else, yet pandemics. Indeed, even with all our trend-setting innovation, some of which may even neutralize us during flare-ups, the danger of an infection appearing unexpectedly and finishing human progress as we probably am aware it is still as genuine as it generally seemed to be. One would imagine that in view of the world being as associated as it is today, irresistible infections stand significantly less of a possibility than some other time ever. It's consistent with a degree, as well, as our connectedness progresses our aggregate information in different fields, particularly medication. On the off chance that you can get data on a sickness in a segregated piece of the world, scientists from around the globe can contemplate it and develop safeguards against it. The issue is, however, that when a genuine episode, like 2019 nCoV, happens, those advantages of worldwide systems neutralize us. The vast majority of the occasions, we essentially don't have any approach to recognize the infections, as they're quite often obscure strains nobody has seen previously. More on that in a piece. So now, with immense interconnected systems to ship individuals around the globe, however, no real way to tell in the event that they're tainted. Flare-ups can arrive at a lot further and create barriers before we can even distinguish them. The avian influenza episode, for instance, was a more grounded, already obscure strain of an infection discovered distinctly in winged creatures, and is likely an old ailment that wasn't a danger until it was. The explanation we don't look at pandemics as a genuine enough danger is because of our conviction that we're presently more resistant to them, or that they don't execute the same number of individuals as different things, similar to nukes. While the facts demonstrate that ongoing progressions in location and treatment of microorganisms has improved us at battling them, there are additionally a greater amount of them currently, including strains that have never contaminated people. For the passing check, passings from pandemics dwarf some other debacle occasion in history by a long shot. You don't have to go into the past. We're right now in the center of many genuine pandemics. The AIDS infection has executed around 40 million individuals at this point. The flu influenza causes around 80,000 to 100,000 yearly passings in the US alone, which is just a small amount of its worldwide passing include of 650,000, even ever. Worldwide pandemics are by a long shot the greatest specialists of mass pulverization we have ever observed. Simply take the Justinian plague, which executed around 100 million individuals over a range of numerous hundreds of years. At its pinnacle when it originally broke out, it's said that around 10,000 individuals were kicking the bucket to it consistently just in Constantinople. The Spanish flu killed over 100 million very quickly, which began during the 4-year-long WW1, the war, with the second most noteworthy demise check ever of 40 million. The reasons these infections neglected to kill everybody are many. The Spanish flu, for instance, simply chose to get milder as time passed by, looking at us without flinching and saying that it decides to save us. The world wasn't as interconnected as today during these diseases, either. On the off chance that a fortified strain of any of those diseases returns, you can be certain that it would have a lot greater effect today. It's basic: our clinical innovation is as yet not propelled enough to distinguish and discover solutions for new flare-ups. Past clinical information doesn't matter to new strains, which require new appraisal and analysis. That burns through valuable time, as well. In a large portion of the most noticeably terrible pandemics ever, the greater part of the passings happened in the underlying days, before individuals could discover approaches to contain it. Without a doubt, that was as basic as perhaps not dozing close to where you crap in the medieval times. However, even present-day plagues, like the Spanish flu, were the deadliest in their underlying days. Each new flare-up still requires understanding the microbe without any preparation, which thusly influences our capacity to adequately react to the emergency.